Increased allergy in the apartment and mold from the Great Flood. Maybe the first one. The second one, not really, because I'd had problems before it. I was having problems before it, but I'm moving anyways soon, so I'm not really that concerned. I mean, it should be in the next month or two, but the problem is, real talk, it's just like tough to find places right now, because like we're almost like a lot of places are rolling back like mask mandates and stuff. Like I got an email from my offices here and they're like, oh, if you come to the office, please make sure you wear a mask. Doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. And so, especially with renting a new place, that kind of makes things a little bit tough, because, you know, places might not be accepting new tenants. They might not, old tenants might not be leaving, etc. So wanting to leave and change and go to another place is just tough at the moment. You know, come to Arizona, can live with us. We won't charge you, we won't charge you put the ass. Listen, dude, no offense. I would literally rather find I don't know, a basement. Okay, I can't really say that because I technically kind of live in one already. I'd rather find a basement to go live in, because in Arizona, I would literally melt into a puddle. Okay? As much as I'd love to, I would literally become a puddle. And it just wouldn't work. So what you're telling me is you don't live in a big house in the middle of nowhere with all the other streamers? No, I live in a small basement Boston apartment where they charge me up the literal ass for a tiny place. It's a good time. Come to Michigan, you get crazy heat waves with the next second it's snowing. You're not making a very good case here. Dude, I don't think you guys understand, when you say to go somewhere, you're supposed to try to make it enticing. Not like, I literally never want to go near that place ever. My partner is $1,300 for a 1-bedroom, 2-bath. Wait, like real talk though, like not to be that guy, but why do you need 2 bathrooms for a 1-bedroom, right? But I don't know how to make 1v1ing spiders in Australia enticing. Yeah, I'm not 1v1ing spiders, dude. I actually have a spider or two that's living in my house right now, because I've just seen them starting to make webs, and I haven't been able to catch them recently. But I noticed because like it's the summer here, right? And I live in an apartment building, and so people are stupid and they leave the front door open and shit like that. And we were starting to get like mosquitoes and stuff, right? So, but anyways, I was having these mosquitoes and like shit, like were like coming to my apartment, like little gnats, little flies and shit. And I was like, I hate that, because like I keep my apartment like really clean for the most part. But the couple spiders I know that are living in my apartment have been f***ing them up. They're gone. Like all the problems I was having for a couple days disappeared. And I was like, wait, what? And then I noticed like there was like some spider webs. There's like one in the corner of my living room. There's another one in like towards my kitchen area. And I was like, oh, I was like, I don't know where they are, but little they're them up, you know? Well, spiders are paying their rent. I actually, you know what? They're the only things that I actually do, you know? $1,800 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Oh yeah, where did the other guy go from earlier? Sorry about that. The guy said, you have 2 bathrooms and a 1-bedroom. Like real talk, what's the point, right? Like a 1-bedroom is probably like 1, maybe 2 people, right? Now, obviously, like you can have more. Like obviously, some people like have someone stay in their living room and shit. We're saying like how it's thought of, right? Like it's supposed to be a 1-bedroom is supposed to be for 1 person, 2 people, right? What's the point of 2 bathrooms? Visitors? What? So are you just like your bathroom's just too good for visitors? You're like, no. Use the peasantry bathroom. When guests are over, and where are they gonna stay? In the living room? This is my space. Okay, listen. Like I honestly, I'm on board. I'm on your side. Okay, I'm honestly on your guys' side with that. When I used to live with my old roommate, we had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Right? My bathroom was in my room. His was outside, like in like the rest of the house, right? His was bigger, but he also left it looking like shit. So whenever we had people come over, or he had friends come over or something like that, or his girlfriend came over, they always used his. I mean, it made sense because it was the one that was like in the rest of the house. It wouldn't make sense to come in my room and go in mine, but I could keep my own little one like the way I wanted it. You get what I'm saying? And I get that. But in the design of a house or an apartment, are you really designing a 1-bedroom for having guests over? And at that point, it's a 1-bedroom, you know? Do you get what I'm saying? Flats guest wanting to go to mine because it's cleaner. Oh, 100%. I love, listen, my old roommate is one of my best friends, right? We've been through thick and thin together. We have done so much dumb shit. Like we literally went through one of the worst blizzards in New England First off, we drove home from Rhode Island to my house in like just south of Boston. So like an hour. We drove home to get alcohol and then drove all the way back in the middle of a blizzard, in which through that trip, like on the highway, we saw, no joke, about 25 cars in the span of 50 miles, all in ditches and shit, right? Like these cars were all over the place, gone. We've done so much stupid shit. And why did we do it? We didn't want to miss a party that night. But I have to say though, he did not give a fuck about cleanliness in any way, shape, or form. His bathroom was a fucking disaster. His bedroom was even worse. And I had some of my friends came over, and his friends too. And one time they opened up his room. He wasn't home, and he opened up his room just to see what it looked like really quick. Not like go in and like look around, just take a peek. And we hadn't been there more than 2 weeks. And he laughed so hard. And he still talks about it because he opened the door. I was like, yeah, you can take him in my room, peek into Anthony's, because like they had known each other for years too, right? To peek in really quick, and he literally thought that like since he got there, just took his clothes and just like threw it in the middle of the room, and there was just like a pile. So like his room was small. It was like his desk, chair, bed, closet, and then there was just a mound in the middle. And he was like, the thing I thought about was, I thought it was your trash room. Like I thought like you would open the door to your room, turn to the left, and throw things into that room. That's how it felt to me. And I was like, dude, like you're not wrong though. Like honestly, like you're not wrong. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So much so, he had a rice cooker that he loved. Like that was just his thing. He would always come home from work, put rice in, and go play games for like an hour or whatever while it cooked. But the thing was so gross and dirty, it kept overflowing and stuff. So he put a towel underneath. I didn't realize he'd actually put a towel my mom gave me when she went to Portugal, like to see her family, right? And it was like it was like a handmade like hand towel, right? Like it's like clearly decorative, right? And I saw like 2 months later, I was like, what the fuck? And I picked it up, and it's like the hand embroidered Portugal. This thing went from white to like dark yellow. It was so crusty and like, never mind the crust all over the cooker. I was like, bro, that is vile. I was like, that is literally vile. He saw no problem with it. He saw no problem with it. He was like, well, whatever. And the reason we didn't fight over it, I was like, it's yours. I don't want to touch it, but like, don't let it touch anything else, you know? Like there was like one like small countertop that was isolated in the corner, and that was the rice cooker countertop. I was like, that's yours. You could do whatever you want over the there, but everything else needs to be not, like, you know? You have to clean all the other shit. If you want to have some nasty ass shit, leave it on that one, you know? Quarantine of rice cooker. It was that bad. So that didn't become the balls towel, dude. I think I would have caught chlamydia if I put that thing anywhere near me. Yeah, listen, I love the dude, but he moved back home actually. When after a year he wanted to move back with me. He's like, yo, like, well, you know, you want to find another place? I was like, yeah, maybe, sure, what's up? And then he was like, oh, like, it wasn't just him and me anymore. He wanted to have his girlfriend move in. I was like, I'm all set, dude. I'm all set. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm good. I'm good. I do not want to go near that. No, clap next to him. No, they were never. There was nothing really like that. Never had that problem. We never had that problem. The problem was, she was always very nice. She was always very sweet, but she used to scare me, like bad. She used to scare the shit out of me. She was like sneaky, but like not in the way you're thinking. For example, so we used to just two dudes live together. We lived together for years, and one morning it was like, I don't know, like 9 a.m. on a Saturday, and I woke up and I was thirsty, so I'm like I need a drink really quick, right? So I go to walk out to my kitchen, and I'm just wearing boxers. I just woke up. That's it, right? And I'm walking out, and she's just sitting there at my kitchen table, just sitting there. And I jump a goddamn mile. I'm like, what the f? When did you get here? Because I don't even think her boyfriend, my roommate, was home. I'm like, he's not even here. He's like at work. I knew he was at work this morning. And I just jumped to the moon. And I went back in my room real quick, threw some clothes, and walked back. I'm like, did not know you were here. She's like, oh, sorry. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you were here. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm just studying. Because like she's in school to be a pharmacist. And I was like, no, I got that. I just didn't know you were here. And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, isn't Anthony at work? And she's like, yep. And I just didn't have the heart to go, how the f did you get in here then? I was just like, okay. I just went and got my drink and I went back in my room. But that wasn't the only time. It happened a lot. Like, she was just very quiet. Like, didn't make a sound. Like, one time, so my room was at the end of a hallway, and the bathroom was at on part of the hallway. His bedroom was here. The rest of the house is here. The amount of times I walked out of my room and she was like standing at my door because she's about to go in the bathroom. But as I was walking to my door, I never heard her walking towards me. So the amount of times I opened the door and she's like just sitting there. I was like, oh shit. You know, like what are you doing standing at the front of my door, you know? Because she just didn't make a noise. But it got worse. It got worse than that. So one night they went out drinking. And it was like 2:30 in the morning. I heard them like go in their room like at 12:31. I was like, whatever. So same thing, was like, I feel like a little snacky. I feel like a little drink, you know, at like 2:30 in the morning. And I walk out, you know, no lights on. I waddle my ass over to the fridge and I open the fridge and something behind me yells, can you shut that shit up? I was like, holy who the because it was a voice I did not recognize, and it yelled at me in the dark. I almost killed it. It was one of her friends that came and stayed over after they went out. She was sleeping on the couch, and I opened the fridge door. Bro, I almost throwing knifed her because there was a big ass set of kitchen knives there. I was like, and I was like, I literally just went like, what the f? And it was so bad because then I got mad. I was like, wait a minute, who the f is this in my house telling me to shut? Who the f are you? And so I was like, I literally go, what? And she's like, shut the f light off. I go, who the f are you? And so my roommate comes out of his room. I hear him fucking open the door and he's like, oh, what's up, bro? I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, that's so-and-so. It's one of Danielle's friends. I'm like, and she was like, and she just like kind of like just groans and like turns over. And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, bro, I just wanted a drink. Can I not get a drink from my own fridge 2 in the morning? And he goes, no, I know. I'll tell her in the morning. And I was like, okay. I was so annoyed. I was so fucking annoyed. And what actually made me more annoyed than anything was the next couple times, like she came over like 2 or 3 more times over like a year. Every time that she came over and like had her friends come over, they always just bitched. And I was like, why the f are you even here if you don't like it here? I forget what it was, but I remember. She went to turn on our TV, but we never watched TV, so we never had a cable package. So whenever we watched TV, we just plugged in like our Xboxes or shit and just like watched like YouTube, Netflix, etc. And she's like, what the f, you guys don't have cable? And this was like one of the few times it's out of my room. I wasn't even hanging out with them. I was literally just in the room near them because I was making food or whatever the f we were doing. She's like, I don't see why you wouldn't have cable. That's really stupid of you guys. And I was sitting there, I'm just like kind of staring. I'm like, aren't you the same one that yelled at me to shut the fridge in my own house at 2 in the morning? I did. One of my other friends happened to be over at the time. I literally told him, I was like, yo, I'm gonna tell her to get the fuck out. I'm gonna tell her to get the fuck out, dude. I don't know who this is. I know it's her friend, like his girlfriend's friend. I get it, but like, I'm kind of just sick of hearing it at this point. I'm just sick of it, you know? But yeah, basically when he asked me, he was like, yeah, let's find a place. And she was involved. I was like, look, she's a sweetheart, but every time she comes around, something happens that scares me and I'm done with it. So yeah. that was pretty much that, and that's why I enjoy living on my own at this point.